On behalf of the Piedmont High School community, I welcome you to the Class of 2022 Senior Awards Night. My name is Adam Littlefield, and I have the pleasure of serving as the principal of Piedmont High School. This evening is a very special evening as we honor our seniors for their academic scholarship, athletic prowess, academic interests, and community and school service. Wow, what a year it's been. I appreciate the efforts of our seniors in doing their personal best during these challenging times. Thank you for your efforts all 4 years, but especially during the pandemic. You have led with class. To the parents of our seniors, thank you for your support and partnership in guiding your children into adulthood. Thank you to the PHS staff, with special thanks to those staff members here this evening presenting awards to our graduating seniors. A special thank you to Assistant Principal Erin Igo, who coordinated this evening's program, and Assistant Principal Irma Munoz, who is assisting with this evening's presentation. Before we begin this evening's presentation, please note that the restroom locations are out there. As you enter this evening, you received a program without student award winner names. We have an insert that has the award-winning students' names that families will receive at the end of this evening's presentation. Please make yourself comfortable and enjoy the evening. At this time, I want to introduce Assistant Principal Erin Igo.
We're trying to live stream a live event, and we've never actually done that before. So I don't know how to live stream a live event. Here we go. So I am presenting the Yale Dryden Medal. And Yale Dryden was a Piedmont community member who dedicated her life to serving this community. And here you go, thank you. So I'd like to present this award to Joyce Stern. Okay. There we go. Okay, Joyce. So I'm presenting this to Joyce because I've spent a lot of time with her over her 4 years at Piedmont. Joyce, you have wrapped up over 400 community service hours. Amazing, right? I know that Joyce has spent lots of time at summer camps, right? And you have been in drama and did amazing work on plays when we were in COVID that were virtual. And I have a lot of respect for you, and I'm in awe of you for how hard you've worked, and you've had some rough times. And so I'm really privileged to have you. Thank you. counselors, presenting the Eric Swartzberchesky Memorial Award. This one? Oh, yeah. Sorry, we're going in backwards order. Thank you. So I'm going to actually stand up here for 2 awards. I will be presenting the Susan Kamichi Award first, and then the Eric Swartzberchesky Award. Let me just put my glasses. Okay. In honor of her years of service and dedication to the students of Piedmont High School, the Board of Education established the Susan Kamichi Appreciating Diversity Award. During her 8 years on the school board, Susan pursued a vision that our district would appreciate and celebrate the diversity of its students, parents, and staff, and of the greater community around our schools. This award is given to students who make contributions to the school or community in the area of understanding, appreciating, and celebrating diversity. I am proud to announce Zoe Saldana as the Among the myriad of roles Zoe has played in organizations and service work throughout her time at PHS, her commitment to promoting diversity, inclusion, and belonging have been at the core of her work. As a board member and president of the Piedmont High School Diversity Committee, Zoe has led the effort for the organization and creation of district-wide workshops and assemblies for students and staff on improving district policies around identity and belonging. In 2018, 2019, and again this year, Zoe was awarded the Anti-Defamation League's No Place for Hate title. Most recently, Zoe spoke to teachers at our PHS staff meeting about the implementation of future identity and diversity lessons to be taught on a regular basis beginning next year to our student body. Through the Piedmont Identity and Affinity Mentorship Program, Zoe has served as a mentor to 3 elementary-age mixed-race girls, creating lesson plans pertaining to identity, current events, and social justice. As a committee member for Piedmont for Consent, Zoe has worked on the response to sexual assault allegations in the district, created survivor peer support groups, and organized events for all community members. I know that Zoe will continue the important work now and into the future when she attends UCLA in the fall. Congratulations. Okay, I'm up just a second time this evening. So now I will present the Eric Swartzberchesky Memorial Award. This award was created in memory of Eric Swartzberchesky by his family to recognize a student who embodied his outgoing and friendly nature. Eric entered PHS in 9th grade after having been a student in Oakland Public Schools. He adjusted well and made many friends. He was an athlete who played both football and lacrosse and was a member of the Skyline lacrosse team beginning in 7th grade, and at the end of his career earned the Coach's Award for his consistent sportsmanship. Tragically, when Eric was 21 years old and a junior at UC Davis, he died from an infection he contracted after getting a tattoo. Throughout his life, he was a very positive person who exuded self-confidence. There were many ways to describe Eric: funny, a hard worker, friend to all, easygoing, humble, grounded, dependable, inclusive, and comfortable in his own skin. While attending PHS, Eric's academics drastically improved from freshman year to his junior year. By junior year, he was engaged in his work and doing it thoughtfully, giving his best effort and blossoming as a student. That is the premise of this award. Amir Singh truly embodies the attributes of a student. Worked diligently, even when his schoolwork challenged him. When he became frustrated, he was persistent and kept at it, never wavering in his determination. On both an academic and personal level, Amir has truly blossomed year after year, and I know that anytime I see him in the hallways, I am guaranteed to be greeted with a friendly, "Hello, Miss English," just as it was earlier today. As a first-time member of the ASB class this year, Amir served his role well as the Senior Vice President. Mr. Barlin, his ASB advisor, described Amir's approach to advocacy and facilitation with his peers as one that always strikes a special balance. He can always be counted on to make his classmates smile and empower them to lead. I am pleased to present Amir Singh with the Eric Krzyzewski Award, and I know that he will take his friendly and dependable nature, along with his determination and positive attitude, with him when he attends St. Mary's College in the fall. Congratulations. And now I am pleased to introduce Kim Taylor.
Actually, I'm going to do some improv right now. I'm going to bring up the next award at the same time. Ginny is going to bring the League of Women Voters Civics in Action Award as well. I thought maybe I can describe the DAR award and then you'll describe yours, and then we'll just see what happens, crazily. Improv. The DAR, Good Citizen Program, is intended to encourage and reward the qualities of good citizenship. It is open to all senior class students. This award recognizes individuals who possess qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism to an outstanding degree in their homes, schools, and communities. And then, what is your award?
Funny you should ask. I have the League of Women Civics in Action plaque. And this is not just a plaque, there is money that goes with the plaque, $500 scholarship. And this is for the student who has demonstrated extra commitment to taking civic action on behalf of their community.
Who could it be?
Who could it be? Could it be the same person?
It could be, and it is
Haley.
You're on the leadership committee for Piedmont for Consent, along with, I need to say these names because they're amazing as well, along with Maya Kumar, Abby Drake, Patrick Alexander, Monica Fumagalli, amazing senior leadership on the Piedmont for Consent group. I looked today in my computer and I found that there were 75 documents that you have given me this year alone. 75. You have been a part of the group that has lobbied the PHS administration. You've attended board meetings. I'm going to do this really fast because you've done so many things. You've performed in the consent assembly here at El Cerrito, at Bishop O'Dowd High School. You have helped and advised the team that created the elementary consent workshops. You taught them. You developed curriculum. There's 1,000 things she's done. Ask her. She's amazing. I really just want to tell you that pretty much every day there's an email in my box that has some sort of list or reminder or plan for something new in the world. And so I just want to appreciate you for all of your plans, and I want to appreciate you for all of the amazing things that you have already done to transform the school and what you're going to do to transform the world. And I'll let you continue on.
And continue on, I will. So, Kaylee is a doer. She sees a problem, and she does. She says, I want change, and jumps in and makes the change. She has served as an eloquent and powerful voice for the Asian American community in Piedmont. Concerned about consent? She did that too. And it's not just outside of the classroom. Kaylee, inside of the classroom, is doing the work as well. She has keen skills of observation, and she applies those to the problems when she sees them. There was a teacher that noted that when Kaylee is in class, it's like having another adult in the classroom. So, her award is for walking the walk, but in the classroom,
she talks the talk too. So she will raise the bar in class discussions, take them deeper. She'll add facts and perspectives, and but also she is patient. She is supportive. She is what we like to say, a guide on the side to kind of help folks come along and realize and help them problem solve. She was a 10th grader in our inaugural ethnic studies class. And then, as a 12th grader, she came back as a TA. And there, Ms. Kashani just talks about how she added so much valuable, feedback. We talk about student voice in the classroom. And Kaylee was that student voice to give feedback to Ms. Kashani to help her develop lessons. And really, again, she compared her to a college-level teacher's assistant. That's how impressive she was. So, and she did all this while her younger brother was in the same class or two. So, she leaves PHS having had just a huge impact on the school culture, not only while she was here, but just in the long-term institutions that she has made kind of a permanent thing. And for that, we recognize you and we appreciate you, Kaylee. Sorry, and this is a change. Melanie McCauley is going to present the Dean Favorman Award.
It says in some of their programs that Mr. Littlefield is doing this, but I think that means that I get to retire at the end of this year. But it does not mean that I'm taking on mock trial. FYI, let's put that on the record. Okay, so the Dean Favorman plaque is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated outstanding accomplishment and dedication to mock trial. This year's recipient joined the mock trial last year and experienced a year of virtual mock trial unlike any other. Her enthusiasm and hard work immediately set her apart, earning her the respect and confidence of her coaches and peers. Always quick with a joke and a laugh, she worked tirelessly to make the team better. This year, as a prosecution attorney, she stepped in to play multiple roles when the team most needed her expertise. On behalf of Mr. Keller and the mock trial team, the Dean Favorman plaque for the 2021-22 mock trial season goes to Dabney Warner.
All right, now we have a couple of social studies specific awards. The first one is the Dean Millay Award, and it is given to a student for outstanding interest and curiosity, passion for learning, and academic accomplishment in their social science coursework. And this goes to Zoe Saldana. Zoe is a curious, eminently responsible young woman. Throughout her time at PHS, she has maximized every single opportunity that has presented itself. And I can personally attest to just the type of student that she was, even in the challenges of distance learning. She comes to class every day, ready to learn, engage, listen. She is a constant catalyst for rich class discussions, which we so need these days. She takes risks by asking authentic questions and sharing her insightful opinions. In all of her social studies classes, she has shown an exceptional ability to handle complex material, whether it be leading her urban plan team as the city liaison, cross-examining witnesses in mock trials, analyzing the Fourth Amendment case law, or creating infographics that still serve as examples of excellent work to be the inspiration for future students. So I'm gonna take the camera out here a little bit too, because I'd like to just kind of give you an anecdote of just the type of student that Zoe is. So in distance learning, it's spring 2020. We are just in the throes of this constant, misery. And as history teachers, we decide to pivot. And for our World War II, we're gonna do reading historical fiction and having some book discussions. Okay. First off, we give a list of books, and Zoe chooses the book that is over 500 pages, and you too, Kaylee. And so the bar is already set. But here's the thing that I got to tell you about. I was their book discussion moderator or something, and I got to tell you, for weeks, I was so looking forward to the book discussion that I was going to have with these students. And I think it paints a bigger picture, and I think what I'm saying to Zoe applies to every one of you here, in that you guys kept on, and you guys probably all exemplify hard work, even through the really tough times. And so I want to say thank you guys for inspiring us to keep going on when it was tough. And you guys have truly been an inspiration to us. And Catherine, I see you too. Long book reader. All right. Thank you, Zoe, and thank you, guys. The second award that the Social Studies Department gives is the Certificate in Social Studies, and we give this for the student who most exhibits that authentic curiosity, passion, and depth of interest in the various social studies disciplines, and this year this goes to Hype Kibarian. Of knowing Hype since his freshman year, and it has been a joy not only from day one. He was that engaged, curious kid in world cultures, but also he just went up, okay? And he, over his high school years, he continued to impress all of his social studies teachers. He has always demonstrated a deep desire to learn, to understand, and has that true, authentic curiosity that we so appreciate. His approach is not just to get the work done, get the points, boom, 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 but to really genuinely want to understand. Whether it was how to ask better questions in a mock trial, or having discussions about what's the best way to pay down that federal debt. And so I can even remember way back freshman year, we did a write-up about something that we had talked about that year, an issue. And not only did he look at that issue from a completely different perspective that I'd never seen any student do before, but also, just to complement that too, he showed true compassion for the people that were impacted by that issue that we were discussing. So he is what we call the real deal. He has a deep interest in all the disciplines of social studies. He took world culture, response society, advanced placement, U.S. history, financial literacy, and in all those he shows his commitment to learning and wanting a deep desire to understand them, to understand our world. And we just thank you, and we hope that you will apply that understanding to our future world. So thank you again. And now we're going to bring up Mr. Paul.
Good evening. I'm here representing the math department, and I have two awards to give out. The first one is the Excellence in Mathematics Award. This award is given in recognition of an outstanding senior who has shown initiative, drive, and accomplishment in mathematics. It's my great pleasure to present the Excellence in Mathematics Award to Zoe Saldana. You might just want to stay up here for this. I have not had the pleasure of ever being your teacher, but I teach both your brothers, and you are leaving some really big shoes behind. The teachers who have taught you, aside from your current teacher, Mr. Colburn, you seem to have burned through them because Dr. Hayden is on leave of absence. Mr. O'Regan retired, and Ms. Dunn retired at a very early age. I'm not saying it's causal, it's just an observation. So I did get some words from, not Dr. Hayden, but the other three, and Mr. O'Regan said, Zoe was a very humble kid. This was 3 years ago. Zoe was a very humble kid, even though she was really smart. She didn't have an ego, never asked for a break on anything, took complete responsibility for her performance. Ms. Dunn contributed. As a teacher, 2021 was one of the hardest school years. Being online for the majority of the year made connecting with students a challenge. I always look forward to my Calc PC class of 27 kids. Zoe stood out as a consistently positive presence in that class, helping create a welcoming community. I will always appreciate that and remember her for her intelligence and her kindness. And Mr. Colburn says, through her persevering engagement and desire to learn, along with her deep curiosity, Zoe has made herself a truly gifted mathematician. Congratulations. All right, the second award I have is the Piedmont Certificate in Mathematics. This award is given in recognition of an exceptional senior who has shown dedication in the application of mathematics at Piedmont High School. It's my honor to present the Piedmont Certificate in Mathematics to Charlie Kalau. I actually have taught Charlie for 3 years. He's been in my classroom, which is, I think there's only 2 students that have been in my classroom for 3 years. And if you hadn't won this award, I would have given you one just from listening to this monotone voice of mine. You deserve it for that. I've seen Charlie mature from an exceptionally bright young man in integrated math 3, who every student in the class wanted at their table during group quizzes, to an exceptionally bright young man who discusses with great conviction the more confusing parts of the calculus BC curriculum with me and corrects me when I make mistakes. You actually have made me a better teacher, and I appreciate that. During distance learning last year, Charlie was one of the few students who maintained his motivation and engagement in the online environment. He was engaged and engaging in his perseverance and creativity and problem solving. And this year in Calc PC, he has seemed almost effortlessly to navigate the most difficult math class Piedmont High School offers, often contributing to the class discussion with deeply thoughtful solutions and observations that help others see problems and solutions to problems differently than the way that I present them. When we were discussing who this award should go to, and your name came up, after a minute or two of discussion and who the different teachers thought might deserve this, Mr. Colburn said, I'm going all in on Charlie Close. He's an excellent mathematician, and I've seen him helping younger students in the robotics club, teaching them math that they need to make their project work. Charlie definitely deserves this award. Congratulations. And the next presenter is Mr. Andy Willis.
Thank you, Ms. Paul. This has been a difficult year. Well, in a lot of ways, but the decision to make around these students, there are just so many meetings that come up when we talk about the awards. Sorry, so many names that came up when we were talking about the awards. But we did come up with 2 award winners for the science department. So our first award is for the Science Award plaque for an outstanding student who shows curiosity, passion, and accomplishment in a variety of scientific disciplines. This award goes to a student who has not only had academic success in upper-level science courses, but who brings an extraordinary enthusiasm for the disciplines in and out of the classroom. And our award winner for this year is Kara Lundin. Our second award is the Eileen Homer Certificate in Science. Eileen was a chemistry teacher. This is for an excellent science student who embodies a dedication to a variety of scientific disciplines, exemplifying the character of the former chemistry teacher, Eileen Homer. We award this honor to a senior student on a similar passion to her. The award this year goes to Wesley Jang.
Thank you. We're doing a little dance, switcheroo with the order of things. So, emotional day. It's a day of celebration. On top of everything else, my family lost my father-in-law early this morning. And I mention this because my father-in-law, who was 95, he was an educator, and he taught in the Oakland Unified School District for 40 years. And he embodied, as well as encouraged, and so appreciated these qualities in his students. Qualities of kindness, inclusion, care, creativity, innovation, and saving every scrap of tinfoil. But that's not necessarily relevant tonight, although it may be. But I thought, as I was thinking about him today, I thought, oh, it's so fitting, because the person who I'm honoring tonight so embodies all of those qualities and more. So I'm very pleased to award the award for Outstanding Achievement in Dance and Choreography to Nellie Daniel. It's so perfect that Nellie chose that chair to sit in, because Nellie is always my right hand, my left hand person. Nellie is always right there. I have had the great pleasure of working with Nellie all 4 years of her high school career. I had her in 9th grade PE dance, and she was in my dance program for the next 3 years. And when I think about Nellie, I'm reminded of I believe it's a Stacey Abrams quote about leadership, and I may be paraphrasing. It's something along the lines of, leadership doesn't always mean being in front. It means being ready to lead. And that's Nellie. And from day one, she's been ready to lead. She didn't necessarily push herself to the front of the room. She didn't hog the spotlight. She didn't say, look at me, look at me. She wasn't boastful. that she was ready to lead. I wasn't aware of it at first, but when she came into dance sophomore year, I slowly became aware as she took on leadership opportunities to choreograph with friends, and I could tell she's kind of the one steering this boat. And then junior year, in the shutdown, she was one of just a handful of students who volunteered to choreograph for a large group. This was all virtual, of course, and she pivoted into the virtual teaching of choreography very easily. Our theme that fall of 2020, was nightmares or something like that. I don't know why we were thinking about nightmares in the fall of 2020, but she created this really dark, creepy place. And then she had to, well, everybody filmed it. You know, everybody knows how it worked in the virtual world of performing arts, but they've had to film themselves, send it to Nellie, and she edited it all together, which if you've ever edited film, you know takes forever to get it just right, and she did such a beautiful job. That was the fall of 2020, and then here we are in her senior year, and again, taking on that leadership role. If there's too much noise in the classroom, all Nellie has to do is do this, give some jazz hands, and everybody quiets down immediately. She doesn't need to yell, unlike me. And so she's an amazing hip-hop dancer and choreographer, so poised in front of the group, leading them. She's also quite a skilled contemporary dancer, as was evidenced by her portrayal of Alice in our spring concert in this very space. And it's just been nothing but just warmth and joy from day one. So thank you, Nellie, for honestly just being you. Now here's Kim Taylor for more good listening.
Hi. Okay, exciting. So I'm Kim Taylor. I'm here to announce all of the music department awards. Now, everyone who is about to get these awards got to hear all sorts of amazingly great things last week in their music concerts. So they had all of the things that you're going to hear from everybody else, for everyone else last week. So today, we just get to honor them as a group. So, yay! So, the Outstanding Senior in Orchestra Award is Caitlin Gong. We're going to have everyone up here together. The Outstanding Senior in Symphonic Band Award is Keenan Rodan. Director's Award goes to Sophia Ware. The Outstanding Senior in Jazz Band Award goes to Alex Tapopolsky. Music Award goes to Rachel Barton. We're looking at one of the awards to see. Okay, you get another award. There you go. Yay! Okay. The Choral Music Award goes to Scott McKenzie.
next two awards are going to be for our outstanding girl and boy athlete. These awards are given to two specific athletes that not only are leaders on the field, but in the classroom and in the community as well. The accomplishments that they have within their athletic ability is just a minor thing that kind of exemplifies what amazing kids these two are. So we're going to start with our Girl Athlete of the Year, and that is Ellie Black. So Ellie Black is a two-sport athlete competing in both cross-country and track and field. Ellie's been a three-time WAC Runner of the Year, which is the Western Athletic County Conference. That is all the local schools. This year, she was awarded the Runner of the Year both in cross-country and in track and field, which is something that many of our athletes just dream about, being a two-time Athlete of the Year within the conference. Not only about her accomplishments on the field or on the track, she has also won the hearts of many of our fans, our administrators, our teachers, her teammates, just from her politeness, her happiness, and just her willingness to share her good energy that she always has. Ellie, within track, is now the second fastest girl runner that Piedmont has ever had in the 1600. In the 3200, she also has the second fastest time as well. Ellie is also leading our track and field team as well to the state meet that is happening this weekend. We wish her the best luck there, and also with your additional running at Cal next year. Alright, so our next outstanding boy athlete is Jack Stein. So surprisingly, you see there's a lot of similarities between these two. Jack Stein is also a track and cross-country runner. He's been competing on those teams since his sophomore year as well. Jack was also named the two-time WAC Runner of the Year, both in cross-country and in track and field this year. He has led our cross-country team since his sophomore year, taking our team to the state meet this year for the first time since 2017. Jack is kind, thoughtful, and helpful. He is seen as a big brother to the younger athletes on our team. He is always there to lead, pick them up, just be that additional support whenever they need it. This track season, Jack won almost every race he ran. He broke the 1600 record at the Stanford Invitational Meet with a time of 4 minutes, 14 seconds. And he quickly followed that up by breaking the 3200 record at 9 minutes, 12 seconds. These records inspired Jack to be the best runner he can be. He hopes his abilities to break these records inspire those runners who follow him to be the best runners that they can be as well. Jack, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done. And I'm not sure who's going after me. Oh, Miss Ico.
I'm back. Okay, I'm here to present an award I invented this year. It is Leadership in Peer Service, and the reason it's new is because we didn't have any a few years ago. I think the two people who are getting this award probably know who they are right now. But this award goes to students who have served their community at Piedmont High School incredibly well. I'm just going to bring them up so I can talk about them individually. Megan Hiller, Bridget Ackerman. You can hang these medals in your dorm room and think of me. Okay. So, stay. Okay. So I'll try and be quick. So I first met Megan her freshman year when she was sent to my office for talking too much in a cappella. And we talked a lot. And then she had this, I think we were sophomore, we were sophomore. She had a really great idea to start peer tutoring with Ms. Hook, who's our special ed department chair. And I said, oh, I'm so glad because I really want to start some peer leadership. And so then COVID, and we started something called peer coaching. And that's where you come in too. And we wanted to mentor 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students. And Megan and Bridget were just amazing with a couple freshmen who really needed some help. And Megan put it all together with Kate Nolda, who was the psychologist at the middle school, and me, and we met a lot, and you organized so much, and I want to thank you for that. I'm coming back to you. Bridget, I met you a little later, I think at Winter Formal, when you were a sophomore, and she was there right at the beginning of the formation of Piedmont Athletic Council, her PAC, which is a student athlete leadership organization that we started, and she made our logo. Yes, and so we're trying to roll that out as best we can, and so she's been there the whole time. Also joined peer coaching at the very beginning, and really, really has become the most important person in the life of that young girl, so I really appreciate you for that. Then we had this great idea to bring sort of the peer coaching model to the whole freshman class. So we wanted to really connect with the freshmen this year as best we could. So Megan, Bridget, and a junior, who is not here because she's not a senior, planned freshman orientation last August. It was so much fun. We had, how many, do you remember? Like almost all of the freshmen there. I think we were missing maybe 50 or something. On the football field, a bunch of juniors and seniors came out to help. We played a big game of jump and switch. We went on a big scavenger hunt. We had slushies, right? And then we came back to Simon Says. We did small groups, and the kids had the best time. And now you're going off to UCLA. You're going off to Southern Methodist University, and you're going to impact this world greatly. And I'm so, so honored and privileged to have worked with you. Don't forget me. Okay? All right. Good luck. Thank you. Okay, next up, Mr. Smith presenting the French Award.
Bonsoir. So I have the privilege of presenting two awards for French this evening. The first award is the Piedmont Certificate in French. This award goes to a senior who shows enthusiasm for the French language, a positive attitude, as well as active participation in class. And this award goes to Sophia Hinton. So Sophia is a great student of French. She's in my AP French class, and she's always participating person. I can tell that she really cares about being able to develop her skills in French, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have her in my class. Okay, the second award is for the Outstanding French Student, which uses the same criteria as the AATF, American Association of Teachers of French, Outstanding Senior in French Award. So, to qualify for the award, a student must have maintained an A average in French and a B average overall, be in his or her senior year, have demonstrated exceptional commitment to the study of French by participating in extracurricular activities related to French at the time of graduation, have completed at least 3 years of formal French study, and be a non-native speaker of French. This award goes to Ian Work. Ian is such a great student of French. I can tell that he's very passionate about the language, and not just the language, but also the cultures of people around the world that speak French. He is a model for what an excellent, absolutely excellent student of French should be able to do and can do. He's also an excellent public speaker. He just won a superlative from the French Honor Society for being a great public speaker, and it's been an honor to be your teacher. Okay, so next we have Spanish awards.
Good evening, everyone. I have the pleasure of presenting 2 awards tonight. The first award I'm presenting is on behalf of my co-worker, Senora Sahagan. And this award is the Spanish for Excellence. And this award goes to an excellent student who has done an outstanding academic performance in Spanish classes throughout high school. This student has been able to love learning Spanish and its culture, but most importantly, the student has been an active participant in the AP Spanish class this year. On top of that, the student has always tried to find opportunities to practice Spanish at home, school, even at work. And the winner of this award goes to Phs Yearbook Advisor. I had the pleasure of teaching Izzy last year online, and last year Izzy, Joyce, Dabney, Amir, and Ellie Black would always come onto my class 15 minutes early before the class started. And that really boosted the morale that we had, because last year was hard. And I just want to thank you, Izzy, for always being positive and coming with your best. So thank you for that. This next award is the certificate in Spanish, and I've had the pleasure of teaching this student for 2 years during her 4 years at PHS. She has demonstrated her love for Spanish. She was always engaged and very enthusiastic in class and willing to participate in the target language. She's applied herself for taking Spanish all 4 years of high school. She's gone to Spain to practice, and I just love that she's passionate about learning it and finding ways to learn it. My hope for her is that she goes on to learn more in her everyday life, and this award goes to Audrey Frankel. And then next up we have my coworker, Ms. Lucia, for dancing.
好，你好，大家好。I'm going to present 2 awards. The first one is Outstanding Mandarin Students Award, and the second one is Piedmont Medal in Mandarin. So my presentation will be very short, but my students are fast. Okay, the first one, Outstanding Mandarin Students Award for outstanding student who demonstrate strong academic background and show advanced oral skills and leaderships. And it's called Clear Being. The teacher and support every student. You are the best. Okay. And the second one is Piedmont Medal in Mandarin. So for an excellent student who shows enthusiasm and displaying a positive attitude and is a hard worker, this goes to Ellie Black. You make every effort to achieve your goal, and I'm really proud of you and hope you keep learning Mandarin. Okay, go! Also happy. Okay, 不客气。好，谢谢大家。And the next one is Black. Thank you.
Good evening. I am presenting. How's everybody doing? Does need to stand up? Okay. Standing? Yes. Okay. Anyone want to stand up? Okay. Push-ups, planks. I am here to present 2 English awards. The first English award that I would like to present is to someone who has made quite a name for himself, I think. Billy Baker, are you here? Is Billy Baker here?
Hello, Billy!
I do not currently teach Billy this year, but I have subbed in his 3rd period class 3 times, maybe more than that. And every time I go in there, he is front and center. He is talking about Chaucer, and then he is talking about Milton, and then he is the best. Okay, sorry, my Roy Cohn people. I think Billy Baker may be the best Roy Cohn. Okay, Queens of America, I know, but he just enlivens everyone that he meets. And so much so, he even came to my class and did the project with a student this year. So he has been in both classes, and a small round of applause for Billy Baker, even though Our second English department award goes to someone in my class. And I'm very excited to recognize Charlotte Lee. Your deep analytical thoughts. And I was very excited about this because I thought about this, and then Mr. Bartlett said, "It's amazing." As you know he would. He shared with me how much he appreciated your deep, authentic understanding of the readings in class. I also observed this quality about you. You would often sit and listen to your classmates discuss a character, let's say, like the creature from Frankenstein. And then you have this way that you would turn your head to the side like this, and you would go, and then would give us amazing insights. And those insights would not only be from the text, they would be looking at it through a social justice lens. They would push us all deeper into areas that we hadn't looked at before. And I'm always grateful for that. Further discovery of the text is what you're always bringing. Our class wouldn't be as rich without your voice, but beyond that and past discussion skills, you artfully craft complex thesis ideas that you sustain throughout written work, and you conclude with strong connections beyond the text to the human condition. You are always thinking. And every once in a while, your sassy nature about Norton keeps us going. I am excited that you will be pushing others to think hard and deeply about what they truly believe in the future.
also here in my other role to present the Outstanding Journalist Award. So, could I have the current, not the current, the past, this year's, the 2022 Editor-in-Chief Zenobia Presentation. She took on the role of editor-in-chief, and she leads the class and the students' magazine on her own. Her editorial board respects her and trusts her judgment when it comes to story assignments and design. She is constantly bringing news, ideas for us to examine, and is not afraid to go after a story. Not only this year, but in her time at TPH, she has informed the community about sexual assault, both for the TPH. She's also looked at consent for Ms. Magazine. And you were a top writer for that, right? Mm-hmm. As well as looking into facts about our security cameras on campus. She's learned, she not only knows how to go after good stories, she knows how to go after good sources. She is an excellent interviewer. She will continue to be this, I bet, for the rest of your career. You push people. You know how to energize the whole class because of it. You believe in the power of the media. You've set a high expectation in the class that everyone is willing to achieve. So I started by saying you have true journalistic integrity and you have a true journalist mind, and I want to thank you for all your time and energy, that you put into TPH. There were a lot of late nights, too many, but you always got it done. I want you to stay here for 1 second, but I want to give you this, and I want to congratulate Zenobia. I think you might agree with this. I also know that on a lot of those late nights, you were not the only one helping TPH thrive. That you had a trusted editor to help you with InDesign and motivation. So I'm wondering if Jack Stein would also come up. Jack is a true team player who believes in follow-through for the good of the student audience. Even though Zenobia was editor-in-chief and had the overall leadership role that she did so well and guided everyone, I could not let this year go by without recognizing your contribution. At the end of Jack's junior year, he told me in his editor interview he wasn't sure if he could take your class. He wasn't sure if he would have enough time, and I respected that. So he came into the class and not only took an editor role, he brought Holden with him, okay? And you have gone beyond the editor role. You keep the class focused by promoting good coverage ideas. You're committed, as Zenobia is, to see TPH thrive. You are a strong sounding board for her and the group. You have a strong work ethic that others have emulated. You went all in, and I want you to know how much I appreciate that. You're a strong writer. You've run into a talented designer. You have strong journalistic integrity, like Zenobia. And I thank you for everything you have done. And just in case you're wondering, they're going back over to school to help the new editorial board again with the last issue of TPH after they're done here. Amazing.
I'm so enjoying tonight. This is lovely. Okay, so I am the Phs Yearbook Advisor, and this is only my second year in this role. But it has been such a great year back on campus. I'm working on the yearbook in person with my amazing class. I'm so grateful for their dedication and hard work. My editors and staff were wonderful. However, I'm incredibly grateful for my editor-in-chief, Sally Post. Although I didn't know it at the time, a full girls a cappella class, which she was originally signed up for, led to Sally joining the yearbook staff as a freshman on a whim, and ultimately here to her role as editor-in-chief. Truly a case of one door closing, but another one opening. And I actually haven't heard you sing, but I know that this door was a great fit for her. It was in Miss Roberta's class that she found her calling and the joy of creating yearbooks that tell the story of PHS during her time there. Her enthusiasm for the yearbook process is unmatched, and her 4 years of experience invaluable to creating this year's book. Our goal at the beginning of the year was to have the students create an inclusive book, and I'm so proud that under Sally's guidance, they were able to cover every single PHS and MHS student in the district. And they're all in the book. She provided much needed historical knowledge while supporting the new staff and her fellow editors, but more importantly, she always brought joy to the class. And her love of photojournalism is infectious. As you move on to your next educational adventure, Sally, please remember that if you know your calling, you will find opportunities everywhere. Gonzaga is lucky to have you, and I look forward to seeing how you shine through those clouds in Spokane. Sorry. Mr. Christensen.
I have the privilege of presenting the Computer Science Medal, and I'm just going to brace you right now. The recipient's not here. Because when I get done telling her story, you're going to be thinking, I cannot wait to see who this person is. It's that fascinating of a story. I do what? She'll watch it in time, I'm sure. If she's not able to watch it live, I'm sure she'll see the recording. Kiddos, you probably won't even know what I'm talking about, but your parents will. We used to play games with egg timers. Before they were electronic, they were just these little mini hourglasses. And you start the thing, and the sand would start to fall. And it didn't matter what game you were playing, you lost the last little bit of it because you're just staring at it, wanting it to stop. And that's the way we feel now. You're going to leave a big hole around the campus when you're gone. But just like life, you're going to flip it over, you're going to start a new chapter in your life. We'll continue on the legacy here, but please know as you leave that we cannot be proud of you. And whatever we've tried to put into your life, you put right back in ours. I don't know how many of you know Mr. Maddox, but yeah, absolutely. A legend and a very mild person. So you need to know that he threatened physical violence upon me and the rest of the department if this person did not win the award. Because she started out in his Joy of Computing class, and as a freshman left such an impression that he immediately recruited her, and she TA'd for him at UC Berkeley's ATD program for several summers. She continued to excel in both of our AP courses, but it fell upon her heart that computer science was very underrepresented for most demographics. And so she thought something should be done. So she started a 501c3 corporation. I know adults that can't pull that off. She started the corporation, it exists. She recruited other students to go into schools that don't have computer science program and taught them computer science. And if you think you've heard the story, we're just getting started. So she decided that there should be some incentives for girls that want to go into computer science. So she raised funds through her 501c3 corporation. While she's still in high school, she gave scholarships to girls that were going to pursue STEM fields in college. But that's not all. She decided there should be a conference. And so she recruited speakers and held a conference in the middle of COVID. She's the kind of girl that you hear the story on the radio and think, where in the world could that happen? If you heard it on KCBS Changemakers, that's probably what you thought. It happened right here. And she walks appropriately amongst this student body. The winner of this year's computer science medal is Juliet Palazzo.
How about if I put on my teacher voice? Okay, we're good. And I won't use my teacher voice with the mic, I promise. My name is Jillian Bailey, and I'm one of the art teachers at Piedmont High School. And I want to say as well, we are really proud of you all. We are proud of all the students who aren't here as well. It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. Sometimes it feels like it's been 2 weeks. Sometimes it feels like it's been more than 4 years, for sure. And the student that I am awarding the painting drawing award to, Sarah, can you- I've spent a lot of time with Sarah, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. I see Sarah every day this year, and I have had the pleasure of teaching Sarah for 4 years. Sarah, you show up, and you make things happen, and I really appreciate how much better you make the art studio. You are there for the Art 1 students when you TA. You are there for your table mates and your classmates in AP Art History because she knows all the IDs. Because she made 9 sets of 250 artwork flashcards. Because she's the most amazing TA I've ever had as well. But when it comes to her art, Sarah, you tackle it. You have an idea, and you don't worry about if it's a possibility. You figure out how to make it happen. And while most students were working on 9 by 12 pieces of paper hanging out on their bed, awesome comfort level, Sarah decided that she would like to paint a sail from a sailboat. So online, I see Sarah with her sail all over, stretched out completely on the driveway, going for it, a 20-foot painting. And that really encompasses the courage that you have as an artist. You work through all the blocks, you help everybody in the studio. You make not just the art studio, but everywhere around you a better place. So congratulations, and continue at California College of the Arts.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Hannah Bjork, and I teach ceramics at the high school. And the student that I'm honoring this evening is so deserving of this award. To get a good laugh last year, people would say, well, what do you do? And I'd say, well, I teach ceramics online. And they'd laugh at me, like, you're not allowed to laugh. Wait a minute. So anyway, but the person who would show up to class and had his camera on and worked in his home every single time was Kenji. Kenji has been amazing. And our history actually goes back to 7th grade, so I hope you're not going anywhere because there's the story. So Kenji in 7th grade, it's like, I don't know, yeah, he was a little awful, but I thought if we could channel all that creativity, because he was a creative mastermind, then we could really do something. And I don't know, I think it may have been the time in Japan, perhaps. He just came back with a vengeance. When I saw him with that online course during COVID and the way he created things, and you had to bring your work to school and drop it off to be fired. You had to come and pick up your play and take it home. Anyway, it's a level of commitment, and not all students were willing to kind of dive in, but Kenji always did. So this year, with his AP portfolio, Kenji was the hardest worker you have ever seen. And I want to tell you that the kiln gods are not always kind. So the kiln gods will take your project and they'll go and blow it up. So Kenji has faced some setbacks, and the other thing that's really cool is he doesn't get too attached. Oh, I'll just try something else. I'll figure it out a different way. Kenji did not sit down in my art class. He was constantly standing up. From the minute he came in at the beginning of the period until he left, he worked. And he just kept working the whole time. I want to tell you that the ceramics portfolios were due on May the 6th by 5 o'clock. Well, in that last week, it was a little exciting. Kenji decided that he needed to build some more pieces. And so Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, we were working to boost the kilns and dry out these pieces that he was making. And they were still phenomenal work, even though he was hurrying and skipping lunch and working for 3 hours in a row. His portfolio was turned in at 4:15 on May the 6th. You are an amazing artist and an amazing artist. He's done head and shoulders, and it makes sense because he's head and shoulders up.
This time I'm doing the drama awards. Yay! So my drama awards are basically, there's 2 awards, but they're really for just going over and beyond. And the first one I'm going to do is the Drama Directors Award. And I'm thinking about a cookie I was making lately. And we had to decorate cookies. And really my cookie I decorated had to do, I just put on some makeup around the cookie face, and then I put a big heart in the cookie body. And really that's all you need to know about Catherine Stormer. So Catherine has done the makeup for perhaps every show that has ever been here at this school for the last 4 years. You have made the makeup for a Beast, you have made dirt for Lord of the Flies, you have made crazy things that you've got in people's houses during COVID, you have made hairstyles that have, I mean, there's a million things that you have done with makeup, and you have also done it amazing stuff on stage as well. You have been in all 4 musicals, perhaps, yes, all 4 musicals, 2 live performances, 1 virtual performance, perhaps a whole bunch of other virtual little things and fun things. You're a leader, you are so kind, and you're willing to help anybody with anything, and you are the queen of both makeup with a big heart. Perfect. The second award is for someone who is not here, Holden Temple. I'm just going to speak to Holden really quickly in the camera and just say that Holden's Above and Beyond goes with sophomore year, he was in A Few Good Men. He also did sound for that show. He was in Love Song. He also did Zombie Apocalypse as well. He performed in 3 of the musicals. He was also the guy who put up and took down the banner every day for that musical. He was in Lord of the Flies, and he was a huge backstage force doing sound and all sorts of stuff backstage and on stage for Marion. And finally, a huge behind-the-scenes thing that Holden does is that I often ask cast members to say something nice to 2 or 3 people within a show. Holden writes to everybody in the show and says something kind to them. So Holden, to you, thank you for being such a dedicated member of the acting class.
Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I am very excited that we are finally here in person having this award show. For the past 2 years, we've done this online, so it's really special that we're here today. I would like to call up the following students. Erin Drum, Charlotte Levy, Annabelle Hoops, Clara Levine, and Charles Olcott. So these students might not know why they are here. And the reason they are here is that this group of students has received the highest level of national recognition through the National Merit Scholarship. And they are all finalists for the National Merit Scholarship Award. And so I would like to recognize all of them. And these students came to school on a Saturday, and they took the PSAT exam mid-pandemic, hybrid schedule, in our new STEAM building, and I think we even had a fire alarm in the middle of all of that. And they have received the highest level of recognition. 4.5 million students take this exam every year, and only 1/5% receive this recognition. And they are here today in front of you to receive that award. So I am so proud to recognize all of them. Yes, I can read the paper. They're in alphabetical order, so let's see. Charlotte. Annabelle. Please make sure that I give you the right one. And Charles. Again, congratulations for representing Piedmont High. And I am now presenting Mr. Garland.
Is there a plaque in the way for ASB? Is there a plaque? No. We got medals? You like medals? As you can see, I have my hands a bit cold here. Hi, I'm Aaron Barlin. I have the great pleasure of advising PHS ASB, our student government. And I have the distinct pleasure of awarding our standout seniors with the ASB medals, and the Leadership Impact Awards. And before giving these awards, I want to note that you'll notice I'm celebrating a relatively large number of students for one class, 6 specifically. And admittedly, I did pause when selecting these students. I was like, 6 standout, trailblazing students, is that a lot? And it is, because we are so lucky. We are so lucky to have 6 people who are talent standards. So again, because so many people, that's because I'm calling it like I see it, and what I've seen is amazing. So let's go ahead and get started with the Leadership Impact Award. So the Leadership Impact Award celebrates those who push the boundaries of student leadership while impressively modeling leadership for future students to come. This past year, a tall order was put out on looking for ASB members. We were looking for members who were not only capable of the integral work of raising school spirit and pride, but also creative and skillful in synthesizing that work with justice-oriented service and community building. All while following a previous school year of distance and hybrid learning. Our community needed a team that could not only bring back norms, but also a team who could take this complex opportunity to revise norms. Standout leaders and anchors of that team were Caroline Collins, Cameron Fong, Maya Kumar,
in Charlotte, Louisiana. From ballet practice. Oh my goodness. Yes. When they heard that ASB was trying not just to be a class, but to take transformative steps towards becoming a true government, they leaned in and led us in taking those steps. If a true government represents, protects, and empowers its people, these ASB members have acted truly governmental. Caroline served as our historian, but she did so much more than just be our historian. Very often, the scope and size of ASB events feels like planning weddings. Time and time again, Caroline has felt like my wedding planning partner. Without her, I'm not sure how the school would stay up to date with all the announcement requests we receive consistently at the last minute. She has heeded the call of so many of my messages that start with, apologies for the rush, or I'm sorry this is so late. She essentially single-handedly coordinated our food drive, ultimately facilitating the raising of over $13,000. And that's not even including physical canned food donations. By being such a reliable collaborator and facilitator in all of ASB's works, Caroline has played a consistently integral hand in work ranging across spirit and service. Thank you. Cameron served as one of our 2 inaugural social justice liaisons, a new role we have this year. She helped set a necessarily high standard for social justice work in ASB. A highlight that must be named is how she helped spearhead the bond between Millennium and Piedmont High School's ASBs. Millennium is our sister school, I'm sure many of you know. But the way students' faces glow when they merely see Cameron walk through the door, MHS ASB's advisor, the amazing Jean Takazawa, says to me repeatedly that when Cameron walks into MHS, her presence is warm and her mind is sharp. With her heartfelt yet steadfast leadership style at MHS and beyond, Cameron has guided people to bond and to think in new and powerful ways. Thank you, Cameron. Maya served as our community outreach director, a role through which she uniquely facilitates the advocacy and activist efforts of Piedmont High School student clubs and organizations. It's so powerful to have one of our few ASB veterans model for the class how she really leans into her titular value of community. She has been a staunch advocate and educator in Piedmont for consent. She was our liaison for the sensitive planning of Diversity Day for Diversity Club, and she takes those outside experiences and skill sets and applies them to ASB. Ultimately, she pushed folks to think differently in ways that admittedly I sometimes find myself afraid to speak. The way she impacts others inspires me to be just as strong. Senior class president, and truly the word that comes to mind to describe how she juggled her many duties is presidentially. Because of course she coordinated fun and memorable spirit events that will help her peers remember their senior class community for complex constitutional duties like that. But on top of that, she can facilitate people like it's nobody's business. In complex workshops and dialogues, I learned from her how a facilitator can navigate people through tough conversations around identity, diversity, justice, and action. The way she leads people to new levels of introspective understanding by asking powerful questions, that all takes a degree of dexterity that I aspire to. Caroline, Cameron, Maya, and Charlotte did their incredible work with few to no models of how to do it, and that's the definition of trailblazing. So we celebrate how they blaze new trails to empower and represent others, always for the sake of the people. These students feel like colleagues in the work of change making, and I thank them truly for their governmental service. I got medals to give, 1 second. Can I confer these on to you? Would you mind? I dropped one. I hope people aren't sorry listening. Your ballet glove and last one. number 4. And we'll musical medal. Okay. Congratulations. All right, and I'll conclude with the ASB Flex Levels. The A Business Award generally celebrates exceptional presidential and vice presidential leadership of and advocacy for the ASB class and subsequently the school community at large. Now, while this award's baseline meaning is that tonight we like to celebrate their election to those roles, we celebrate so much more because tonight we celebrate the uniquely impactful ASB careers of President Ellie Black and Vice President Carly Roy. So this award honors not just Carly and Ellie's presidential positionalities and not just even their most recent 12th grade achievements. We also honor their legacies of change and impact that they built over the past 4 years. Legacies of change and impact that I trust will ring and ripple for many years more to come. While Carly and Ellie have served on PHS ASB since they were in 9th grade, I got the pleasure of meeting them a tad later, when they were in 10th grade, and I was their world literature teacher. So allow me to share a brief story about that English class as context for the work they've done in ASB. I know, I'm going there. I'm going English, yes. On that first day of school 3 years ago, in order to contextualize all the work and dialogue we had in that class, I projected for Ellie and Carly a seemingly benign picture of a world map, but upside down, so to speak. Yes, I'm sure other people also remember this. With that image, as a class, we asked ourselves simple questions like, what do we see? What does this make us think? How do we feel? But those simple questions ultimately prepare us to ask the hard questions. How do we learn that right side up was the norm and that upside down wasn't? When, if ever, have we questioned that norm? When and where do we apply this unquestioned thinking to more than just maps? And what do we even do when our understanding of an idea has become that unquestioned and singular? Then, of course, the year in English goes on, and we attempt to answer those questions with writing experiences and literature and even action projects. With the actual weight of needing to answer those questions, few people, let alone young students, are able to carry that weight. And in their leadership, Ellie and Carly truly carry the weight of these questions. Their answers to these questions are not merely conceptual. They're their actions and relationships and styles and approaches. They have made clear their current answers to these questions. They ask themselves exceptionally hard questions when interviewing and forming the ASB class, exploring what kind of team could both meet the student body's majority of expectations and could represent the underrepresented. They model for their peers how to question norms, from carefully considering how sound-sensitive students could still feel spirited without going to loud rallies, to introspectively interrogating with the class why planning fun and traditional events had been prioritized over intimate community building or justice-oriented events. They weren't afraid to name for the ASB class that change is uncomfortable, and that often that discomfort is a signal for its necessity. What do we even do when our understanding of an idea has become unquestioned and singular? Time and time again, Carly and Ellie didn't just say their answers, they showed them, and they advocated for them, and they used them to lead. It's been such an honor to witness them do that. They've come so far, which made me want to conclude by sharing some insightful lines from their 10th grade exit letters. I know I went there, oh my gosh, yeah, I did some digging. For the last task of our English class, Ellie and Carly synthesized their experiences into key takeaways in the form of a letter. Ellie wrote in her letter, there are so many topics in the world that we can raise awareness about. However, if someone really wants to make a change, they need to be able to create a plan to help empower other people to make that difference too. Carly wrote in hers, as you empathize with someone and feel for them, there begins to be a call to action. It's important to realize diversity, have empathy, understand the changes that need to happen, and look inward. It's humbling to think that those philosophies were in them when I met them, that those philosophies have served as the foundation of their legacy here, and that those philosophies will continue to blossom with complexity and impact those lucky enough to be their peers in the future. And I'm so grateful to say that I was one of those peers.
these two students are very similar in a lot of ways, but different in style. You'll probably know what I mean. They're probably two of the most warm, positive people. One's a little more flamboyant, I would say. I want these guys to come up. Wesley Jang and Jacob Chia. When I was driving over here, I was thinking a weird thought, and that is, if either of my kids came home with you guys, and said, hey, mom, dad, I would be overjoyed. Like, what a dream. That is a weird thought. I probably shouldn't have had let's see. This year's valedictorian. Congratulations. You made the best music video in AP Bio. That's a very good accomplishment. Jacob, you introduced odometry for field localization of the robot and state machine code organization to his team. So then I had to look up odometry, which is the use of data from motion sensors to estimate change in the position over time. Let's see. David Keller has great things to say about you. Jacob, you're an independent thinker. You're not afraid to express and hold on to your values. You listen closely to people. You're incredibly hardworking. And Wesley, one of the hardest working students ever, and that's probably why you fell asleep a couple times in his class. I could go on, but I'm overjoyed to give this award to you guys. And I guess I get to speak at graduation, right?
All right. I am so excited and proud to bring out our 21-22 valedictorian, making his third appearance tonight, Aaron Brown. Hard worker, effort. He has gone above and beyond physical science and computer science. So thank you for bringing your love of learning to Piedmont High School. One of the good things I really love about Aaron is that he shares his knowledge with others. He taught the younger students about robotics. He went to other schools. He went and met with younger kids and just shared your love of robotics. In your scouts, you've helped the younger scouts reach their goals, so thank you so much for that. I did check in with a few teachers, and I had some really cool words. Some of your teachers noted that the knowledge you bring to your class, and I heard the word remarkable many times. You don't just share your knowledge, you bring ideas, you make connections to the discussions, you make things better, you apply your discussions to today's world, you can incorporate it with other things in our lives and just make the classroom even better, okay? So thank you so much for bringing us along on your educational journey. You've done a remarkable job. I'm excited to see what Aaron does in engineering and computer science. I know we're going to hear your name in the future. I know we are. So, congratulations.
Thank you. This concludes our senior awards night. I do want to have a short conversation with our seniors, so I'm going to turn my back. So seniors, congratulations. I just really encourage you between now and graduation to make good choices and decisions. and let your fellow seniors know that as well. The awards that you have tonight, the medals, you may wear them at graduation. And I am looking forward to graduating with you. Commencement ceremonies are on Thursday, June 2nd at Whitterfield at 5 o'clock. I encourage you to join us. I understand that seating can be a little bit hairy, so you might want to get there a little bit early. Please join me now in congratulating these seniors for all the awards that they've received. Thank you. Drive safely and have a wonderful evening.
What are you doing?
Let's Spanish dub. I'm definitely wearing this at graduation. Are you kidding? Oh my god. No. Oh yeah. That is fully on still. 12 viewers. Hit him with the floor. careful with this.